So I figured you wouldn't see my ear or hear my kids, so I'm going to mute myself.
Okay. All right. I think we're up and running. It looks like meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
I don't see it.
So I figured you wouldn't see my ear or hear my kids, so I'm going to mute myself.
I see your name and I hear you, Brian.
I think that was YouTube.
Yep. I think we should be good now. I turned it down.
That's the delay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and call to order. The April meeting of the Pataskala Public Library comes to order at this time. I've got 5:01. And first order of business is excuse absence of board members. We don't have to excuse Brian this time, but we do have to excuse Vicky if anybody wants to move, and I need a second for that as well.
I'll make the motion, Linda.
Okay.
I'll second, Carolyn.
Okay, all those
you.
in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed?
All right.
Motion carries. Let's go ahead and is everybody had the chance to look at the minutes from last meeting? I just read them over now. They looked fine to me.
Good to me.
Good here.
So can I have a motion to accept the minutes from last week?
We don't, yeah, it's just approved as presented.
All right, well,
Okay.
I think we're good there.
Now, Jeff, I'm not seeing that we're live on YouTube.
I am.
Yep.
Is that
on
a
the top.
problem?
It says live on my end.
It does
Okay.
on mine
On the
too.
upper
I
left.
don't know why I'm not seeing that, but I'm not going to worry about it then.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Because you're trouble. That's why. Linda.
That's probably it.
That's the real reason. So any correspondence
No,
and no public participation this week?
no.
All right, let's roll into the Director of Fiscal Officer's report.
Okay, everybody should have March in front of you there. Our total general fund revenue was $211,343.72. So it's our big month. We got our first half real estate in for Licking County and Fairfield County. So that's the 161,670.91. And then year to date right now, we should be at about 25% of our budgeted revenues. We're at about 34% of our budgeted revenues. So we'll see that go down a little bit over time. Our PLF's at 26%, so it's on track a little ahead right now. So we're doing well there too.
Okay.
Our net income for the year is $124,536.96. Again, that will start to go down as well since we just got that payment for our first half levy. I do have some donations to report. The first one was on April 8th, and it's a unrestricted donation, and it was for National Library Week, and it came from Adrian Stort, and it was for $50. And then we received another $50 unrestricted donation for National Library Week on April 15th. And that one was from William Scott. Let's see. April 8th, I know I'm going backwards. We did get a $20 restricted donation for our seed library. That was a cash donation. Do you remember who that was from, Mary?
That was from Adrian Stewart too.
That was Adrian Stewart as well. And then the last one is the donation jar unrestricted April 22nd. And that was $134.14.
Okay, wow, thank you. So we first would like to thank the people that have donated. That's wonderful. And if we could have a motion to accept these funds.
So moved, Linda.
I'll second, Elder.
Go ahead.
All right, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, same sign. All right, we've accepted the money. Let's
All right.
go on to investments.
Okay, well, we'll go on to page 2 there. If there's any questions. Total March expenses, $56,838.91. And again, we should be at 25% of expenses. We've spent about 17.5%. So we're in pretty good shape for the year as far as expenses go.
Thank you.
The third page, again, those are sitting out there for the building fund, major repair fund, technology fund. You'll see some movement in this probably next month or in May reports as we do the repair to the parking lot, and then also the server upgrade that we have later in May.
Right.
On the fourth page, our general fund balance is 1,001,228.13. And then total all funds is 1,404,373.14. And then our checking account balance at the end of the month was 39,857.87. Just stop me if you have any questions. Page 5, one expense over the monthly average was workers' comp, and that was our claim management rep that we pay once a year, and that's for 2022. Then you'll see our money market down below. I do have one transfer to report. That was on March 29th. Does not need a board motion, but after we received our levy funds, I made a bank transfer out of our checking account for $150,000 to our money market account to take advantage of that 0.08% interest that we're getting.
Well, it's better than 0.07, so there you go. All right. So bills to be paid, we have as our next item, and we've got just 2 pages there. Anybody have any questions for Jeff? It was a pretty thick, I had to go by and sign these. It was pretty thick because there was a lot of backup, but it wasn't that many checks actually that were cut. I did, what's a card? I just had one question. Card member services. Why is it ARCH? What does that stand for?
It's paid online. So it's not a check. It's an EFT.
So that would represent EFT.
Yep.
Okay.
I can't remember what ARCH pays for. That's what we've always put on it.
Yeah, okay. Anybody have any questions? Anybody want to pay these bills?
May as well. I'll make it with Kathy.
Can I have a second? Kathy's
Second, Linda.
Linda
Okay.
seconded. All right, all those in favor of paying the bills, please signify by saying aye.
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 And those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. So we're all done, Jeff. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add for fiscal stuff?
I'm good for now.
All right. Well, let's go over to Mary with the assistant director's report, the circulation report.
Okay, our total circulation is up 29%. Resources are up 147%. New patrons are up 43%. Reference questions are up 31%. Program attendance is down 81%. Internet use is up 1%, and Wi-Fi use is up 1%. Now, this isn't a true comparison because the library was closed 2 weeks of March last year because of the shutdown. So we'll probably see a more accurate comparison in June. That's when we reopened after the shutdown. But this does tell us that our that patron use of the library is increasing since 2020 overall. Just we're not back to pre-pandemic levels.
It's interesting. I'm just looking at the program attendance. There was a lot of people, almost 1,000 people attending programs in March just before this all blew up. And
Yeah, we had tons of programs in March, just the first couple weeks. Then yeah.
But that's good that we're serving the community and there's 1,000 people. That's fantastic.
Good.
All right. Let's go to old business.
Okay, so I don't know why my screen keeps going into the dark there. So Modern Library, just to give you a quick update on that, we met with Cheryl and then Matt with Library Design. Oh, it's probably been a month ago now. And sat down, had a good conversation with them about where our intentions are for the new facility. Mary and I worked together on a list of spaces that we would like to see in that new facility, and sent that over to them. They came back with a list of questions on those new spaces. So in regards to how many people that we would see in the meeting room, what would the capacity be for a large meeting room? How big of office space would it be? What kind of furniture would be in there? What kind of shelving would you need in the supply room? All sorts of different questions. Interactive area for the children's area. So Mary, Kelly, and I have been working through that list to answer those questions to the best of our knowledge. And I still have to get with Laura, hopefully tomorrow, to go kind of through the children's area to see kind of what her wish list is, or what she would want to see in a new children's area. Once we get all that information together, I will send it over to Library Design, and then they should be able to start working through their process of designing those spaces and kind of working out what kind of square footage the new facility, the addition, would need before we start working on our current facility. So that's kind of the process we're through right now. For the building committee, I don't know at what point in time you kind of want to be brought into the process. I mean, we've kind of had a kickoff meeting as far as working with Library Design, and we're answering questions back to them right now. So the building committee, it's Kathy, Doug, and Vicky, who's not here, but Kathy or Doug, do you have some sort of an idea of when you would want to be brought into the process or have questions?
Yeah, when would we be most helpful? I think that, that would be my first thought. When, I don't want to just be there to waste time and flap my gums or whatever, but when do you think we're going to be most helpful?
In my opinion, I think it would probably be like maybe after the first rendering, after the first time, this is kind of what we're thinking space wise, and we get something back from them. And that would give the building committee a chance to look over it and review it and go, yes, you're on the right track, or no, you got to think about these things. That would be my opinion.
Kathy, did you have any thoughts?
That sounds like a plan. I was wondering, just a question I had, has Laura been to some other libraries to look around at some of their spacing?
I don't know that she has. She probably has, just in going to libraries in general. But that would probably be a good idea to get her out and give her a day to visit some libraries.
If she wants company, I'd be glad to go with her. So,
okay.
Unless she'd rather not.
Okay.
Hey, Jeff, what's the time frame for maybe the visiting the other libraries, and also for the first iteration, once they get back to you, when you'd want the building committee to be actually working with you? Are we looking at June, May or June?
I really don't know, to be completely honest. I would probably need to send this back to them and have a follow-up meeting with them to see how long they think it would take them to come up with a rendering. I think June if I had to take a guess, it'd probably be June.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I just so you know, I'm going to be available because I don't have any teaching this summer, so I'd be available pretty well anytime.
Okay. But I'll talk with Laura and see if there's some spaces out there she wants to get out and see, and mention that to Kathy, that you would go with her as well.
Only if that's okay with her. I mean, I'm not gonna. Sometimes it's more fun to go with somebody. So.
And I
At
think
least that's the way I work.
I think Licking County Library just renovated their children's space. Actually, I haven't been to their downtown building yet. since they've done that renovation, but I'll have to check on that. I'll mention something to her.
Okay.
Okay. Any more questions for where we are at in that process?
Sounds good.
Okay. I'll go on to modified services. This one's going to be a little bit longer because I've been taking notes on this. So we are going to have a staff meeting on May 7th, which is next Friday. And we're going to discuss kind of where we are currently with our current services. To give you an update, the CLC hasn't officially voted on, but they took a poll of the directors, and the quarantine of materials, that guideline from the CLC is going to go away, which is going to currently you have to quarantine any return materials for 4 days before we can check it in. That's just the guideline from the Central Library Consortium that they use before we transport materials. They're going to put the onus back on public libraries, individual libraries, on what they choose to do with return materials. Alexandria has already started not quarantining anymore. I'm not saying that's what we're going to do. If it's an item that's being circulated to another library, they're setting them off to the side for 4 days before they ship them. But that quarantine order from CLC will probably be lifted on May 23rd. So I want to talk to the staff about that and see how comfortable they are with not quarantining material anymore, or just making that 24 hours, or just making that 48 hours. With the information that's come out from the CDC as far as passing along the virus from a surface contamination, the likelihood of that is low. I believe it's like 1 in 10,000 is the chance of causing the spread of it by touching surface. So that guideline's changed a little bit. The perception of the public is a concern of mine. Are they concerned with not, getting material off the shelf that hasn't been quarantined? To me, it's no different from going into a grocery store. But those materials aren't going home and going back to the grocery store. So that is different as well. So I don't know if the board has a suggestion on this or comfort level with this. I'm definitely going to talk to the staff about it before we come to a decision. But I really feel like the options I'm going to put out there are no longer quarantine, or 24 hours quarantine, or 48 hours quarantine.
Anybody have any thoughts or feelings? Anybody want to discuss this? No? Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
comfortable with any of those.
Right.
Likewise.
Have you had any feedback from customers currently that are just in and out, Jeff?
No, I think some of them do appreciate knowing that they have been quarantined. I don't know if Mary wants to speak to that at all, but there's a little bit of a frustration in sense of, well, I returned those materials and they're not checked in yet. I mean, that's still a daily thing that we're dealing with. As far as, well, those shouldn't be on my card anymore. And I mean, it's daily that we're trying to explain to them, well, we haven't checked them in. They're in quarantine for 4 days.
Okay.
Mary, would you add anything to that?
I would just say that, yeah, it is a frustration with patrons and staff that we have to constantly say, well, we have to quarantine items for 4 days. And sometimes it's 5 days because of Sunday or holiday. And then people get upset that, their stuff is not checked in eventually, even though we don't have any fines. As for how people view the safety of checking out items if they're not quarantined, I haven't really heard anybody feel like they would feel unsafe checking out a library item if it wasn't quarantined. So
Yeah. And then just to give a little bit more background of kind of what we're going to talk to the staff about and where we are pre-pandemic versus now. So our hours, we are still not open 9 to 10 Monday through Thursday in the morning. We used to be open in the morning that hour. And then we are still and that's Monday through Thursday. And we're still missing to the 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. slot Tuesday to Thursday. I'm not saying that time is needed yet. We're not seeing the traffic to increase those hours right now, but that is still different. Obviously there's still story time virtual, but not in person. We only have 4 internet computers open instead of 10. A lot of our furniture is still in storage and not out and being used by the public. We are still offering the first 20 printouts for free. That has been a positive thing to the public. And I will say that's probably part of our increase in unrestricted donations in the donation jar. We do get a number of people that just go ahead and make a donation on those printouts. So that might be something that we want to continue on. The water fountain's still closed. We may want to talk about replacing that water fountain that's probably 30 years old with just a one that's fills water bottles. I know that's what they did at Alexandria. So I'm going to look into the cost of that. I know Crookshank did the ones out Alexandria, so I'm going to reach out to them. The number of items you can have checked out on a card is at 100, and it was at 50 pre-pandemic. And then the number of DVDs and CDs that you can check out on a card at one time is at 20, and that used to be at 10. The reason for doubling those is because of the quarantining of material. But do we want to keep it there? I think with DVDs and CDs, we may want to keep that at 20 to check out, because they're honestly not going out as much as they used to. There's not as high as a demand on those. And we may, instead of having 50 items, increase that to 60 or 70. But that will all be discussed with the staff. And then the last thing that I can think of that's different, and Mary or any of the board members correct me, because I've tried to make a list and tried to include everything, is our capacity is at 40. But I think that would be everything that's different. So, I don't know. I'm leaning towards keeping the 20 printouts. I'm leaning towards increasing the number of items checked out for DVDs and CDs and on the card, just because our shelves are pretty full. I feel like more items can go out. Quarantining of materials, we'll kind of talk to the staff through that. I did have a discussion today as far as story times go with Laura and Rita, and we're looking into the possibility of starting outside story times later in May. We're talking through what that looks like. We're possibly going to have people have to sign up to register for those story times. Are we going to require masks? I don't know. The state mandate, the order that's out there says that you should wear a mask if you're within 6 feet of people that don't live in the same household. But I don't know how we manage that outside. Also looking into what are other libraries doing. There are some that are doing outside, so we're still at the beginning stages of trying to get some sort of story time back up and running outside. Maybe more internet computers. I know there's been times when the 4 have been full, so we might open 2 more of those up. And I'm getting to the point of getting the furniture back out there too.
Yep.
But any questions or comments or feedback on any of those items that I listed that you have a strong opinion on, one way or another?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it sounds good.
You might
Jeff, what are you leaning towards and Mary, on the quarantine?
If I had a choice, and I'm going to have a choice, because what I'm planning on doing is letting the staff vote on it. But I would probably vote not quarantine material anymore.
I would probably go with 24 hours just because the public might want that safety precaution.
And then reassess it?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
But we'll talk as a staff, and I'm not a dictator here.
So you say.
All right. Thank you very much for that update. We appreciate that.
Yep.
Sounds good. Next item was library levy, and wanted to see how that's going.
So I've got the resolution here. I worked with Bricker and Eckler on this, and they've actually drafted all the resolutions that we need from this point and then all the way to the school board once it does get to the school board. So the resolution that is in front of you, and I won't read through it all, but it's requesting the Licking County Auditor to certify the current tax valuation of the Pataskala Public Library Service Area, Licking and Fairfield Counties, Ohio, and the amount to be generated during the first year of collection of a renewal with an increased tax levy for current expenditures of the Pataskala Public Library. So this is for 5 years, and it's renewing our 1/2 mil operating levy and then asking for an increase of another 1/2 mil. So this is asking the county auditor to come back with numbers to us saying how much that would generate for us. And then once we have that back, we'll have to pass another resolution that goes on to the school board.
Yeah, this is just step one to find out how much it would actually yield.
Yep.
So is there any discussion at this time, or can we go ahead and move forward? We really don't have the information until we take this first step, but
Right.
any questions or discussion? No? Okay, well, we need a motion then to go ahead and get the process started. So if somebody would like to move that we go ahead and pass this and allow the library to make this request of the auditor. Could I have a motion from someone?
I so move, Carolyn.
I'll second it, Kathy.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
This will be a roll call vote.
Oh, okay.
So Rummel,
Aye.
Hayes,
Aye.
Lee,
Aye.
Duvall,
Aye.
Dalgarn,
Aye.
Elder,
He's on mute.
Brian, are you there?
He's there. He's just on mute.
He's out of the
Somebody-
car and yelling his head off.
Somebody hold up and.
There's a game going on.
So
Yeah.
we'll count that as 5 votes.
And one
for.
abstain. All right.
Hold on. I need 2/3.
Mm.
Is that 2/3?
We're missing 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2/3. We need to have at least.
Yeah, that's 5,
Five.
7. Yeah, so we're good. Yep, that's 2/3.
All right. So motion passes. Let's go to Story Trail then.
Okay. Story Trail, there's a little bit of an update there. I reached out to the Licking County Health Department. Sometimes you tell yourself not to ask questions, but I don't know, felt more comfortable asking the question. Don't really want the answer sometimes. But they said what they sent over to me was the current guidelines that the state provides, where it's still mandated to wear a mask outside. Again, 6 feet apart if you're not in the same household. So I reached out to Suzanne and had a conversation with her, and we're just not comfortable with asking the health department, Licking Memorial Hospital, and other organizations to be out there if we're not truly going to try to enforce those things, those orders. And I don't want to be put into a situation where we're trying to do that during the event. So what we have decided to do is just do a ribbon cutting ceremony. We'll ask the Licking County Chamber to be there. We'll still invite the kids to come out to it and have a ceremony, but we won't have the organizations there for activities or different kind of games or any passing out any kind of programs or any kind of information or anything like that. It will just be strictly a ceremony. But that is on May 27th at 6 p.m.
27th at 6.
Yep.
Okay.
But any questions or concerns on that?
So the guidelines are only if it's an official activity, not if it's just a ribbon cutting ceremony.
I really don't know. It's a gathering is what they call it. It's a gathering.
Okay.
So I don't know if calling it a ceremony changes anything. But we weren't comfortable with having those other organizations out there, and then find ourselves in a bad situation.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
But the good news is there will be a new story trail up.
That's cool. That's great.
What's the theme this year, Jeff?
I knew somebody was going to ask me that.
Okay.
Kindness all around us.
Yeah.
Kindness around us.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I believe that's what it
Good
is.
theme.
Yep.
Good one.
Okay. Let's move on to new business.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm looking through my notes. So we would like to hire Abigail Sprinkle. We interviewed her a few weeks ago. We did a background check. She's not a criminal. Everything came back okay. She is currently a senior at Watkins, and will be going to OSUN later this fall. We think that she's going to be a great fit. I think Carolyn might know her from Tri-Valley Church, or the church out there. So, we think it should be a good fit. Her first day would be May 17th. And then her starting rate would be $10 per hour.
All right. So is this a roll call vote?
It doesn't need to be roll call.
Okay. So we'll go ahead. Let's start with getting somebody to move this forward by making a motion.
I'll make the motion. Linda.
In a second.
I'll second. Kathy.
Kathy.
All right. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Gail and Mary, I don't know if you want to note, but it looks like Brian has left. So I don't know, 5:32.
Okay.
Elvis left the building.
With the donut in each hand.
Next on here for new business would be to promote Caleb Hagenberger. I think he's very excited about the opportunity and the position. And this would be as of June 14th, which gives him about 6 weeks to work with Scott as he transitions over to this marketing technology coordinator position. He will be moving from the current salary scale of tier 2 step 7 over to tier 3 step 8.
All right. Can I have a motion to grant Caleb the promotion that's being considered here?
So moved. Linda.
Okay.
Second.
Thank you,
I'll second. Carolyn.
Carolyn.
Okay. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 And those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. That's great for Caleb. I'm very happy about that. We'll miss Scott, but I'm really happy for Caleb.
And so his Scott's retirement's July 31st. I still haven't talked to Mary about it, but we'll coordinate something here for him. Looks like Carolyn's froze up there. Is she froze on yours?
froze.
Oh, nope.
There she is.
She's back.
She's just
Okay.
very still.
Right. Okay. She's back. Next on the agenda is close the library for maintenance. So we have confirmed with the parking lot crew to have our parking lot resealed and striped, and then have the server upgraded as well on May 28th, which is a Friday over Memorial Day weekend. We are already closed on the 30th for Sunday and 31st for Memorial Day. But I would like to close the library also on May 28th and May 29th to complete these two projects.
I move we do that. Carolyn,
Second? I'll second. How about that? Shocking everyone. And then all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Let's pave that lot.
All right, we'll get our server upgraded too. Hopefully everything goes smoothly and I don't really need those extra days and there's no rain. Everything will be fine. So
It will be good.
yep. Next on the agenda, open meeting July 1st. So currently the state is allowing for Zoom meetings for public boards through June 30th. So through next month, we are still fine to meet via Zoom. Unless things changed, we will need to come back to in-person meetings starting in July. Now, this could be extended. They've extended it once already. But I kind of want to get feedback from the board members if you feel comfortable coming back to in-person meetings at this point, if we started back to in-person in June.
I'm comfortable with whatever you want to do.
same here.
Me too.
I've taught face-to-face all year. I'm fine.
Do you want to do it in May, starting in May, or do you want to wait till June?
Up to you, Jeff.
I'm perfectly fine either way as well. Mary, how are you with it?
I'm fine with in person whenever.
My only question would be the usual room in the back there.
Yes.
That's my issue too, is that that's usually when the staff takes breaks, and I mean, I guess they could use Kelly's office or our office for breaks.
Should we change the maybe bump the time back till 6 o'clock? Would that help them out?
We couldn't do that currently because library closes at 6. So you have to be open to the public for the meeting. The only better option would be if we moved it up to an hour to 4. Oh, there, I went in the dark. I'm here. There we go.
Whoa, saw a spark there.
But if we moved it up to the 4, I think we could get things done in an hour. That would. What time do they usually take break though, Mary?
I would have to ask them.
Because it would close at
We
6.
close at 6. They might be done with breaks by 5,
Yeah,
or just getting done with them. Yeah.
I think we might be okay with it.
Yeah. Okay.
What date in May? What's the date in May? It's just one day a month, so.
May 25th.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah, we could. I mean, they could work around it. Like I said, they could eat at one of our desks or at Anne's old desk, since no one's there. So.
Or they can eat it with us. We don't care.
Maybe they can share.
Bring enough for everyone.
So,
Okay.
maybe it would do you want to go ahead and plan on May 25th then? If people don't have a problem with that.
Yep, we can certainly go back to in person then.
And I'm going to put Linda on the spot here. Linda, is that okay with you next month, or do you want to wait and push it back another month to June?
What are we talking about?
About meeting in person.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine either way.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure.
Yeah,
So, anybody else has any concerns? Let us know, but I would, let's go ahead and plan on May, then meeting together.
Okay.
Regular time.
Sounds good. I do have two others that I thought of while I was sitting here. You're welcome. So we have had power issues here at the library. I don't know if anybody else has been experiencing that over the past few days. Power went out on us on Saturday and took out our phones. Could not get our phone system back up and working on Saturday. And when I came in here on Monday, I discovered that what it did is it killed our surge protector for our phone system, which isn't terribly expensive, but I've got it rigged right now that it's working. But I've got another battery backup surge protector on order for the phone system. Should be in here later this week. And it went out again. I don't know when, Monday morning. It just blinked, went out, shut everything off again. So we've been dealing with those issues. So about, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, our HVAC also was having issues, and we discovered that a breaker in our breaker box was completely fried, which was to one of the units, one of the 2 units that sits outside.
This sounds like a surge problem. I mean, you obviously got real amplification spikes in power going through.
Yeah. So we did have to replace a breaker. That cost of that was on the bills to be paid there. That was to Federal Elite. I think it was just under $2,000.
I remember.
Where they had to kind of move it down in the box, but he got us back up and running probably within a week. Luckily it wasn't too cold or too hot out that time.
I wonder if having one of those Generacs when we do these upgrades would help with that problem. I don't know. I'm just.
I don't think it will, and maybe I don't understand them correctly, but the way I understand a generator is, you get a surge like that. The generator takes like 10 seconds for it to kick on. And so, when you get a surge for like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, it's not going to kick on that generator.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a product out there that's going to protect against that.
I know they have those filters that you can have for your property. So, commercial property or your home. And it really is where the mains come into the building. I don't know the cost, but it is something we might want to talk. If this is an ongoing problem and it's frying, gradually all of our electronics, it would be nice to be able to prevent that. Something more than just the circuit breakers. Some kind of filter, whole building filter.
Okay. Is that what it's called?
I think it was, well, I had a quote for one from not Crookshank, or who was it? KMA. It was expensive.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking like, it was like $1,500 or something crazy like that. But I'm thinking for a commercial building, and this is ongoing, and it would be nice to have some kind of filter. And I don't know who we have used in the past for electrical, but maybe we can get a quote.
Okay. I'll look into it. The guy I've used in the past, he kind of did it on his own, Galoni.
Oh yeah, right.
But I'll have to check. I can look
they're
into it.
They call whole house filters or whole building filters.
I wonder if it's bigger for, I mean, it has to be, I would think, for a building 8,600 square feet instead of 2,000 for just a home.
Right. Well, KMA, they were expensive, and I didn't get any counter quotes. So,
okay.
Perhaps it'll be less somewhere else.
Maybe that's something like you said, we could build into the renovation project too, or the addition, but something to look into.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last thing is the OLC, just to update on where PLF stands at this point in time. It felt like we had support out of the House, but when the bill was actually introduced for the budget bill, there was not an amendment included for public library funding to stay at 1.7%. So it is set at this point to roll back to 1.66% come July 1st. And then we reached out to the House of Representatives and tried to get an amendment added before they voted it out, and they did not do so. So now it is over in the Senate. So we are at the point of reaching out to our Senate leaders. Jay Hollinger, Senator Hollinger, has indicated that he's in support of having that increased to 1.7%, but we are still waiting on seeing an actual amendment to the budget to, see that come through.
Yeah, he helped out in the past, so I'll keep my fingers crossed.
So that's kind of where we are right now in the state budget process. But the way they're projecting revenues as well, I don't really know how much that's going to trickle down and affect us too much.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. Any other last comments or questions? We wrap things up early. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
So next meeting, May 25th at 5 o'clock, and it's face to face.
Okay.
Yep.
Be there or be square. All right. Thanks so
Now,
much.
wait. May 25th. And it's in person.
Yes.
Oh, see, I sat right here and missed that. And I think you even asked me about it. Ugh. I'm losing it. Okay, I got it.
All right.
All right.
So we'll just have to let Brian know. Somebody have to let Brian know.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll let Vicky know too.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks.
All right.
Winnie.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good evening.
Have a good week.
Yep.
Yep, you too, guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.